This tutorial is called Creating a Simple Logo using the Illustrator Pathfinder Tools. This tutorial is a companion lesson that goes along with creating a simple logo using the Illustrator Pen tool. In this lesson, you'll learn to create a simple logo using not only the pen tool but also the Pathfinder tools, along with other tools and techniques that can help you to illustrate faster and more efficiently. You'll learn a few shortcuts and tips that can make you a better illustrator. For purposes of this tutorial, we will use the Essentials workspace. Go to Window in the top menu, click on Workspace and choose Essentials. The panel should appear on your workspace on the right. These are the basic tools we might need, and even though we won't be using most of them, it's a good habit to use a workspace where the tools are out of the way. Later on, as you develop your skills, you'll probably customize that area in your own way. Let's lighten the image a little so that we can see our vector lines more easily. Go to the panels on the right and choose Transparency. This expands the Transparency panel. Make sure you have the image selected using the Selection tool, and in the Transparency panel, change the opacity from 100 to 40%. This enables us to see the lines more easily. You can see that the image is now lighter. Another way to help in seeing your lines is to change the color of the outlines. Select your pen tool first. Go to the panels on the right again and select Color. This opens the Color panel. First, let's get rid of any fill color which we don't need. Click on Fill, and below that click on None. Next, click on Stroke, and in the color section choose something that's easy to see against the background image. I'm going to select a bright blue color. Now we're ready to start recreating the logo in vectors. Let's start with the letter A. You could create this using the pen tool as we did in the previous lesson, but another way is to use the actual font or typeface that was originally used to create this. With experience, you'll learn to recognize fonts more easily. For now, I'll find it for you. It looks like the font has been stretched and altered from its original appearance, which makes it a lot more difficult to find. After scanning my fonts, the closest one I have is called Zurich Extra Black BT. This font can be found for free through Google. This is what it looks like without being altered. This is what it looks like after being stretched wider. Now copy or Control-C and paste in front, Control-F, the A. With the copied letter still selected, grab the top of it and pull it all the way down until it lines up with the bottom of the upside down A. Move the top and bottom until it matches the upside down A exactly. Go to the Rectangle tool. Create a rectangle that looks like this. Looking at the shape in the logo, it should be halfway between the widest part of the top and the narrowest part of the bottom of the rectangle shape. With this object selected, go to Object in the top menu. Choose Envelope Distort and click on Make with Warp. This opens the Warp Options panel. Click on the preview box so that you can see the effects on your art. Use these settings to change the shape of the rectangle. You can see how your object is warped into a different shape. Play around with the shape of your object and the settings in the Warp Options palette until your shape matches the one in the image exactly. Once you have it shaped, go to Object in the top menu and click on Expand. In the box that opens, uncheck Fill and leave Object checked. Click OK. Now's a good time to make sure all the pieces that you've created so far line up with each other. Select the Ellipse tool. Hold down the Shift key, click and drag to create a circle. Use the Selection tool to move and resize the circle to fit the portion at the top of the logo. Copy and paste in front another circle and move it down using the arrow keys until it lines up like so. Pull the bottom up a little. Widen both sides slightly. Go to Window in the top panel and select Pathfinder to open the Pathfinder panel. Select both ellipses, and on the Pathfinder panel, click on Minus Front. the top object trims out from the bottom object. You should end up with something that looks like this. Select this new object, copy and paste in front, move the object down to here. Paste another copy and move it to here. Move the bottom up slightly. Select both objects and on the Pathfinder panel, click on -front. Go to Object in the top menu and choose Ungroup and delete the unwanted objects at the bottom. All of our shapes are now created. All we have to do is color our shapes appropriately. Start by selecting all of the shapes that you want to be white. The upside down A and the small crescent. Make the fill white and the stroke none. Go to Object in the top menu and click on Bring to Front. Select all of the objects you want to be black. Make the fill black and the stroke none. Select the background image and hit delete. Your vector logo is now complete. Next, I suggest moving on to something a little more complicated, such as the tutorial called Creating a Vector 4-Leaf Clover in Illustrator. And thanks for watching.